Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Assalatu wassalamu ala rasulih amin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmeen. All the viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. We are on the 10th day, Alhamdulillah. Almost one third of Ramadan. We have just crossed, and now even our Quran also. May Allah elevate our positions in Jannah, get united in Jannah, and give us the best in both the worlds, inshallah. Now, coming back to this Surah Al Anfal, we have ayah number 63 now, where I'm going to talk about the hearts of mu'min, or how Allah has reconciled or Allah has joined the hearts. Here Allah says, وَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِهِمْ. Allah says that we have joined the hearts, or we have reconciled the hearts, despite of all the efforts that you have done from your end, and you have spent a lot of money. You were not able to reconcile, or you were not you are not able to come into common terms and have unity. This Allah is talking about the two communities. You must be knowing about Aus and Khazraj. They were like the North Pole and the South Pole. They never wanted to reconcile. In one way or the other, somehow they were not able to come into common terms and have that, peaceful understanding. It was not there at all. But once Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam went to Medina, these both the communities had very strong bonding, and it was the mutual brotherhood that came into existence. And Allah says, nothing happened except our own desire. It was we who had sown that seed of love and affection towards yourself. That brotherhood, mutual brotherhood, was all because of us. You have tried a lot, but you failed in all your attempts. And what did you have? The two things that actually it was mandatory for you to have that reconciliation was, one thing, you had to hold the rope firmly. That is, what is that rope? I have already discussed in the past just about the rope. Allah's rope is nothing but Allah's deen. This, you had to be steadfast in your deen or your religion. This will make you to be very strong. I mean, with mutual understanding and brotherhood and affection with each other. And the second thing is, one who believed they will always do good. So they see to it that they avoid all that what is evil. They avoid whatever is creating, a loss in the akhirah. They are going to avoid it. So these conscious efforts of having, giving that priority to Jannah or to Akhirah was more important. And this shift in their thought process brought that historical change in their hearts. So Allah says, you didn't have that earlier. You had missed out these two things. That is Allah's deen and good deeds. These both the things were missing out in your previous attempts, and that's why you couldn't reconcile. But now we have given you those two things that are mandatory for you to have that, that mutual understanding. Now, we as Muslims also need to understand that in order to get into the root cause, or to have that, mutual having very good bonding and connection between each other, we need to have these two tools with us. That is, have total faith in Allah and be steadfast in His religion. Be steadfast in His religion. Be firm in His religion. Hold the rope of deen very tightly. And the second thing is about the good deeds. Whatever is possible, try to do good deeds and avoid that which is bad. And you will be getting, Allah is going to give you success in all that what you do, because Allah is opening up your hearts, and we feel we are connected. In Surah At-Tawbah, ayah number 24, Allah says, O Prophet, tell all your people that whoever is loving his father, his mother, his son, his belongings, his property more than Allah and His Prophet, then let him wait for the punishment, or let him wait what he is going to have at the end. So his consequences are going to be very severe. This is for us to understand that these worldly, materialistic desires that we have, this is just for the namesake, or it is temporary. If you start loving all this more than Allah and His Prophet, we are not going to get anything. Success relies only upon those people who give the priority to Allah and His Rasul over all these materialistic needs. So we have to give that priority. I know it is not easy because Allah has created this world in a very attractive manner, and this is a kind of test. It is a delusion, and we feel that okay, we are engrossed in all these things. May Allah protect all of us and save us from these torments, inshallah, and help us to go in the right path and understand what is our priority, inshallah. And in the next ayah, again, Allah says in ayah number 25, it is we who helped you particularly during the time of Hunayn, when you were in difficulty. That is, you thought that okay, you had very much trust over yourself, your army. So we must know what has happened in during the time of Hunayn. It was people had that kind of confidence that okay, we are able to get more now. We are able to get successful because we are favoring Allah and His Prophet. Just because we are the people of Allah, that doesn't mean that we will be getting successful every day. So Allah says, you were about to flee or you were about to run away from that particular place, and we gathered you. We were the ones who made you, or we are the ones who helped you during that time of distress. So Allah says it is because of Allah we are here. Actually, the Byzantine emperor wanted, he had a very pre-planned structure, how to attack, and everything was pre-planned because he had seen the history, how Prophet and his people used the tactics during the time of the wars. And he had a very nice plan also. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that I am the best planner. No matter what, no matter who comes by, it is I who decide what has to be done, or who has to get victory. Everything is decided by me. And in ayah number 38, he's asking people, oh, those who believe, what makes you to come back, or what makes you to stick onto that ground when we are calling you to come and fight for the cause of Allah? What is making you stay back? Now Allah is telling here about the incident where Prophet ﷺ was asking people to come and fight against the Byzantine Empire. And here it was a peak time during the summer, and people were hesitant. How can we have wars during summer? It's very difficult. We cannot have anything to eat, or there's nothing much to eat. And the second reason was it was a time of the harvesting, or the season, harvesting season, when everything they have grown and they've taken so much of trouble in growing all the crops, and now when it is a time for them to get the harvest, or take back that whatever they had sown or they had grown. Now Allah is calling them. So it's a trial again. It is a test, but Allah wants to check what is happening. People were reluctant. They didn't want to come to the war, and Allah is asking the same question. Why do you want? Do you think it is all the enjoyment in this world? You know very well that this is all the enjoyment, but hereafter is going the hereafter is going to have a lot of benefits when you compare that to this world. So be very cautious about it. So Allah is again trying to give us that. Allah is again and again trying to remind us that if you are giving priority to this life over the hereafter, you are going to be the losers. So he's trying to sanctify us, cleanse our souls, and make us feel that now this is temporary, this world is temporary. Don't give priority here, no matter how much of hard work you have done here. It is something the best that you're going to get in the Akhirah, inshallah. In ayah number 54, Allah is mentioning about the traits of munafiqs. What is happening, or what are their traits, how they behave when Allah is calling them for war, or maybe Allah is calling them for prayers or any good deeds that they are doing. So how is it? How was their reaction now? Allah says they are lazy in their prayers. They don't pray with that devotion. Whatever we need to surrender, we don't do that, and just for the sake of doing, we just do it. May Allah protect all of us from this particular trait, because we don't know how punctual we are, right? We don't know in what ways our prayers will be accepted. May Allah accept our prayers and also lead that prayer and help us to go enter into Jannah very easily. And then how do they come for prayer? That is, even when they come in a very lazy manner, and again they don't even concentrate in their prayers. Whatever is there besides them, they give more priority there. They concentrate over the rest of things, what is happening in and around the world. That is their way of prayers. And also it is told that they don't even have any particular time for their prayers, the fixed time. That is, it usually a mu'minun or a believer is the one who tries to come and be in the forefront, or whenever any call for prayer is given, he will be in the forefront. He will be the first one, or as early as possible he goes for the masjid. But these people who are lazy, they don't go on time. They even see to it that maybe Lohar and Asr can be done together. So in that way, almost they just see to it that within a single go, how many prayers we can offer, and then we can save the time. So that's how they start thinking. Next is the second trait is that whenever they are asked to spend in the name of Almighty, what do? They feel very hesitant. Oh my God, I have saved so much of money, and with great difficulty, I have to again give this money for the poor. Why can't he earn? Why these things are happening? Why should I pay? These thoughts come to the mind. And we have to be very mindful about these thoughts, because these are all from Shaitan. This cannot happen from Allah. So we have to understand that whenever we get a chance, see to it that we spend a lot of money also, our efforts also, and our strength also in the cause of Allah, so that all these become part of charity. On the day of judgment, our scale is going to weigh with all these good deeds, inshallah, when we do it with conformity, when we do it with affection and that niya, or that intention, a very good intention. So let us be mindful about it. And the last ayah that I want to take for today is ayah number 65. That is, Allah says, if you question them what they were talking about, they would certainly say, we were merely jesting and being very playful. That is, whenever Allah says here that when these munafiquns, or again the traits of munafiqs, He says, whenever they are called and asked, what were you talking about? What was your conversation? They would say, no, we were just having fun. We were just making jokes, or it was just a trial. We didn't tell anything serious, nothing serious. Yeah, it was just fun. So what happens is, even if they are talking very serious, or even if they are having fun in the name of Almighty, they would start telling lies, or they would make fun of all these things, or even about Prophet. But they would say that it was all just for fun. We didn't actually intend to tell something bad, but it just happened, very taking all that conversation very lightly. And this is not the trait of a believer. So believer is the one who sees that whenever he talks something very productive, something very fruitful, which doesn't harm anybody, which doesn't hurt anybody's feelings. And he is really cautious about his tongue, what has to be done, how to speak, what to do, what not to do, what not to speak. Everything he is very cautious about. And he doesn't utter a word that Allah doesn't want him to utter. He sees that all kinds of jokes, immoral conversations, or something that doesn't add value in others' life, such conversations he's going to avoid. These are the people who are, as if they are walking on the thorns. They are very cautious about their clothes, their skin, their body parts, as if they are walking very slowly and softly, as though they are not hurting anything. I mean, their clothes also should not be torn, their legs also should not be hurt. So in that ways, they just walk through. That's how Iman is all about. And person who has iman, he is conscious more about Allah's desires than all these things what people have. Now this may be a time pass, this may be a time where people all together are coming and joining and having fun and making so much of enjoyment, recreations and all that. But a true believer never gets into all these things. He feels that this is just a waste of time and I need not go for it. May Almighty bless us and also help us in this regard, and see to it that our words, our actions become the reflection of our deen. May Allah accept it and help us in this regard. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum.